Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to J Penny Reviews. Here, of course, the only correct opinion is my own, but even so, I'd still love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. We are, as of recording, just 16 days away from the premiere of Stranger Things 5, and I am very excited. I sure hope nothing crazy happens. Oh. Yeah. I'm well aware about the article that came out claiming that Millie Bobby Brown filed a harassment complaint against David Harbour. And I don't really know how to talk about this because it's gotten so massive. But the whole thing seems pretty fishy to me, and I'm surprised that it's gotten as big as it has. So for those of you who don't know, David Harbour has recently gone through a pretty nasty divorce, and the source of this breaking news is supposedly a friend of his ex-wife, whom he parted with on not so great terms by the look of it. So already this seems pretty fishy with the timing and who is saying that this happened. And not only that, but the complaint was supposedly filed before season 5 began filming. For anyone who saw season 4, Millie and David only filmed one scene together. Jim Hopper was in a Soviet prison for the entirety of season 4 and didn't make it home until quite literally the final minute of season 4. And he had a single on-screen interaction with Eleven. Maybe it could be 2 scenes if you count the final shot where everyone's standing there, but it's really just that one scene for the entirety of season 4. Season 3 wrapped filming in November of 2018, and season 5 began in January of 2024. So the timeline as we know it is David was being a bully during season 3 at the latest, and Millie waited a full 5 years with 1 season of filming in between with only a single interaction, and then decides to come forward with this. So hopefully you can see how, from my perspective, this seems really weird. Now please don't mistake anything. I do not want to take away from the very real potential of a serious problem. There could be a ton of things that we just don't know that could connect all the dots perfectly. And I do not know David, and I do not know Millie. And yes, them being overly chummy on the red carpet screams of a desperate counterattack to the article, but the source is someone who'd likely have a clear bias against David. We haven't heard anyone from Stranger Things have anything negative to say about him, even though that's not saying a whole lot. And from what I can tell, he hasn't really had a history of reported inappropriate behavior. So until someone who spent an ounce of time on the set of Stranger Things with David comes out with their own story or corroborates what we've heard, I think we can safely say that this is probably nothing. Now, if more information comes out, it's definitely a massive deal. But at the moment, we don't know enough. The source doesn't sound very impartial. So I'm just going to ignore it from here on out until we get more information. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't know any more than you. And this really only blew out of proportion because it came out 1 month before the premiere of season 5. But with all that out of the way, we got our first 5 minutes of season 5. And I shockingly don't have a ton to say about it. But basically, this intro covers Will Byers spending time in the Upside Down. What was he up to? Well, we see what happened right after he spoke to Eleven in the penultimate episode of season 1. We see after the Demogorgon found him, he managed to shoot the Demogorgon, run away, climb up a tree, but fell and got knocked unconscious, and the Demogorgon grabbed him and brought him to Vecna. Vecna then uses his mind powers to put that disgusting snake slug down Will's throat. And it seems like Vecna had a plan from the start based on what he says.
At long last, we can begin.
And this does confirm a popular theory that Vecna did personally send the Demogorgon after Will and had planned on Will escaping the Upside Down. Now, I don't love this. This is starting to reek of overcorrection. In my season 2 review, I went over how I thought the Mind Flayer was a weak villain. I think the Duffers always planned to have one be in the Upside Down, but I think the Mind Flayer was originally going to be one. I don't think Vecna was going to be the way he was, but they changed it when they saw they needed a more compelling villain. Or maybe I'm wrong. And who knows, Vecna could have an actual plan that makes sense, and Season 5 may fix all my issues. But for now, I think this is a pretty contrived way of connecting Vecna all the way back to Season 1, which I don't think is necessary. I think Vecna made sense as he was in Season 4. This just didn't need to happen. But then again, maybe it does make a little sense if his end goal was Season 2. And then he had to repivot in Season 4 and this season are his plan B and C. I really don't know. All I do know is the controversy doesn't really concern me all that much at the moment. The official trailer looks awesome, and the first 5 minutes confirmed a popular fan theory that I can get behind even if at the moment I'm not a massive fan of it. Needless to say, I can't wait. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What did you think of the first 5 minutes of Season 5? How hyped are you for this upcoming season? If you enjoyed the video, I have 2 separate videos on the early seasons of Stranger Things out right now. And I have 2 more videos for Seasons 3 and 4 on the way, and will hopefully be out before the premiere of Season 5. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care.